So one of the most beloved franchises on PC, Stalker, after 10 years, is finally receiving a sequel called Stalker 2. Well anyways, at the Xbox Series X event a couple weeks ago, we got to see the announcement trailer for Stalker 2. In addition to this, the developer has released a fairly lengthy frequently asked questions section on their website. Hey guys, this is Chris with BNB Gaming. Welcome back, and I hope you're doing amazing today. Thank you for taking the time to check out this video, and thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments. Definitely appreciate it. So to start with, guys, I'm going to go ahead and play the trailer, and afterwards I'm going to give you more information about Stalker 2, along with going over some of the details we've learned since the reveal. So to start with, guys, what exactly is Stalker? I know for me, I haven't played them on PC, so I really don't know what the backstory of this game is. The one thing I did hear about it is that originally the developers that formed 4A Studios that created the Metro series were part of GSC Game World, the developers of the Stalker series. So evidently there's quite a bit of similarity between the Metro series and the Stalker series. Now Metro, of course, is a linear shooter, except maybe Metro Exodus is a little bit more open world, but Stalker itself is more of an open world experience. And actually in Stalker 2, they're promising even a bigger open world. Now, as far as what exactly the Stalker series is, Windows Central did a really good write-up about this, so I'm just going to go ahead and read some of what they wrote here, because I think it kind of explains what exactly the game world here is and what we're doing here. Well, anyways, it says Stalker 2 is set in a fictional version of the Chernobyl exclusion zone, in which the power plant mysteriously exploded again in 2006. Causing strange supernatural events that defy all scientific reasoning and spawning horrifying mutated beasts that began to roam. I like that. Now it goes on and says that as a result of the second explosion, special items called artifacts were created. So when I first read this, I'm like, well, did the scientists create these artifacts? Actually, the explosion did, so they're otherworldly or something. Well, anyways, these artifacts provide special effects to the people who hold them, such as protection from radiation or increased natural healing. Now, due to how valuable these artifacts are, many have made a living sneaking into the zone to sell them to the outside world. Now, in addition to this, some have formed factions within the zone as well, such as Duty, which is a group comprised primarily of ex-Ukrainian military soldiers who want to protect the world from the dangers of the zone. Now, all of the people who operate in the zone, so the military factions along with the treasure hunters or artifact hunters, are all called Stalkers. Now, as far as gameplay in Stalker 2 or the Stalker series, according to Windows Central, it says it's a horror shooter blend. It says that in the original Stalker games, the encounters were designed to be intense and nail-biting. As far as combat goes, using cover and maintaining your guns and armor are critical to your success. Along with this, the original Stalker games also have light survival elements such as hunger, which you cure by eating things, and radiation, which you use drugs for. Another key feature of the Stalker series, and returning to Stalker 2 bigger and better, is the A-Life system 2.0. On the Xbox site it says it's going to be a reimagined version of the A-Life system that appeared in the original games. It goes on and says that countless events and encounters will happen every moment, even if you're not around to witness them with your own eyes. Now the first question to answer on the Stalker 2 website is, what is Stalker 2? Here it says it's going to be a unique blend of FPS, immersive sim, and horror with a really thick atmosphere. One of the biggest open worlds to date is yours to explore, along with an epic branching story with multiple endings. The next question is, what platforms is it going to be on? Here they're saying it'll launch simultaneously on Xbox Series X and PC. And along with this, we've also learned that it's going to launch on day one on Xbox Game Pass. Another question Stalker fans have been wondering, is it going to be open world? Here they replied and said yes. The zone in Stalker 2 is going to be one of the biggest seamless open worlds to date, and I think this is one of the reasons it's going to be on Xbox Series X and is going to be skipping Xbox One, and I think primarily because of the internal SSD. So essentially, Stalker 2's open world should be massive with pretty much no loading times, or like 5 seconds or something like that. Another question they answered is, what about the story? Here they say that Stalker 2 will feature an epic, non-linear story in that our choices will influence both short-term consequences and global outcomes. Another question asked was, does the Stalker 2 trailer feature in-game graphics? Here the developer answered and said, the trailer features the level of graphics and atmosphere we're aiming to achieve on release. Later on they answer another question about the trailer. This question says, did the trailer show actual gameplay? Here they say the Stalker 2 trailer is in-engine and actual game models were used to create it. So, kind of. Hey, but it looks pretty good. So as far as graphics go, for sure we know that on Xbox Series X, it's going to be 4K 60 frames a second, and it's going to support ray tracing, which I think is a big deal. So for sure we can expect 4K 60 on the Xbox Series X, and on PC, whatever you can run. Now another question people asked was, do we have to complete the previous games before jumping into Stalker 2? Here they said Stalker 2 is a standalone project that can be enjoyed on its own, but of course if you want to go back and play the other games, you're going to get the maximum amount of immersion in the Stalker universe. Now another question you're probably wondering, because I'm wondering, is when is Stalker 2 releasing? Because I want to play this right now. Well, here they said, we're not yet ready to give a release date for Stalker 2, but please follow our social channels for updates. Now, I did do some digging here as well, and Stalker 2 was actually announced, I believe, back in March 2018. So, they've been working on it for 2+ years, so hopefully we'll get to see it in 2021. Another question you might be wondering is, what locations are for sure going to be in Stalker 2? Here they said Stalker 2 will take place in the Chernobyl exclusion zone, with new locations being there along with the old ones. Another question asked was about the anomaly in the trailer. What about it? Here they replied and said it's actually a new anomaly for Stalker 2, and we'll learn more about it in the game. Another question asked was, are there any new artifacts and mutants in Stalker 2? Here they said, absolutely, we're really excited about all the new stuff we're adding into the game. Another question asked by the community was, who was that shown at the very end of the trailer? Was it the main protagonist? All they said here was that it is a Stalker, a hero of the zone. So I'm guessing it's probably a character from one of the original games. Another question asked by the community was, what about the mods and the modding community on PC? Here they replied and said that we are fully committed to making modding as simple as possible on day one. Now, I'm assuming this is only going to be on PC and not on console, but hey, still awesome. The final question they answered was, can you tell us more about the technical part of Stalker 2? Here they said visuals are critical to the immersion of the world we create. So there are lots of modern technologies involved in Stalker 2, and Stalker 2 runs on the Unreal Engine. Well, anyways, it goes on and says they're using motion capture for both bodies and faces, and it goes on and said they're also using photogrammetry to achieve the required levels of realism. Honestly, I'm not sure what photogrammetry is or if I'm even saying it right, but I think the message is they're really trying to go for realism here and a deep level of immersion, which sounds awesome. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Have you played the Stalker series? Let me know what you think of it. Is it worth checking out? Should I, pick it up on PC just to try it out? Let me know what you think. For me, I'm really excited about this game, and it's probably going to be a day one purchase for me. I love the Metro series, Metro 2033, Metro Last Light, Metro Exodus, and from what I've heard about Stalker, they do have a lot of similarities to them, not only in atmosphere and gameplay, but also in their kind of rough edges. And that's one thing I really love about the Metro series. To me, it reminds me of this really small studio putting out this phenomenal game that still has some rough edges, but you can see their talent. You can see what they're trying to do here. Now with Stalker 2, I'm really excited about it because it sounds like they're really taking advantage of the Xbox Series X internal SSD. So hopefully it's going to give us a much bigger game world here, and hopefully because it's an exclusive, they've got a little bit extra money from Microsoft, which has plenty. So hopefully we'll get a much better game out of it.